Good morning, everyone. This is Uche Njoku, and welcome to this episode of the Sneaker Principle Podcast. I'm coming to you from my car. So if you hear any kind of weird noises or engines revving, that's why, because I'm not in my studio, I'm not in my home. I guess I am in my home. My car is like my second home. Spend a lot of time in this car. But you're probably wondering, what are you doing right now? I'm sitting here in line, waiting to go into Honda to get my car serviced. This will be the first oil change since I got this car. Those of you who might have been following me on my other channel, Uche L Njoku, Sneaker Principle, that channel, I talked about my challenges with Honda. I had leased this car, I would say sometime in June. It was sometime on my birthday. I had taken my Honda Passport, traded in for a lease on the Honda Pilot. I needed something bigger, but something I didn't want to commit to for the long run. And I chose this vehicle. And actually, it wasn't this vehicle. This is the 2025 Honda Pilot Elite. Actually, I had chosen the, what's it called? The Honda, it was a 2025 Honda Pilot TrailSport. Because I actually went in to get a truck, an actual flatbed truck. I wanted to change things up. I knew I would still have the space as far as be able to seat a passenger and two in the back, for my two car seats, for my son and daughter, and still have the utility of a truck. But when I went in there, they showed me the Pilot, and I haven't always been a fan of the Pilot only because it just looked like a van, and but the new body looked really good, and actually it looked like their pickup truck, just without the bed. Like, it was just complete coverage. So I was like, okay, this is interesting, because I really enjoyed my Passport. So I went ahead and went with the TrailSport, which had the feel, the look of a pickup truck. Looked very rugged and all those good things about it. So I went ahead and got that car. It had 4 miles on it. I drove off the lot, and not even 48 hours later, I was having issues as far as the engine starting and a bunch of other things. And what ended up happening was the car died on me completely. And fortunately, it didn't fully die until I got back to Honda, because it's a whole long story about what happened, but the car started acting really weird, got to Honda, and Honda said, whoa, we have to keep it, overnight. Yeah, I have to keep it overnight. And I went through a whole lot of nonsense, but they were telling me to hey, leave the car and come back and get it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave this car here that I just leased. How do I get home? And they were like, well, we don't really provide a courtesy car. And I was like, okay, that's not my problem. You are Honda. You're a dealership. You have a bunch of cars here. I'm sure there's a car here. And, I had to be forceful. So they gave me a courtesy car. And I was thinking that this was going to be literally a day or two. They'll figure out what the problem was and fix it. And maybe it was something with the computer or whatever. And coming to find out, it took about three days for them to tell me the car needed a brand new transmission, and they'd order a new transmission from Honda. They would replace the transmission and give me the car back. And I said, oh, hell no. I just bought a car from you guys, brand new, everything from factory, perfect. And so you're telling me all of a sudden I need a whole new transmission in less than 48 hours? No, I wasn't having that. I was not having that. And they went into a back and forth, and I spoke to Honda corporate. I spoke to the manager at the dealership, and they were going back and forth. And I said to them, listen, it's very simple. Just give me a new car. Keep this car that only has but how many miles on it, and just give me a brand new car. And they pushed back and forth. And I ended up having the they gave me a pilot. No, I'm sorry, Passport Elite, which was a new car. I think it was a 2024. I only had like maybe 8,000 miles on it. So I had that car with me for maybe almost a month of going back and forth, and eventually Honda or whoever decided, okay, listen, we'll give you a new car. So they gave me a new car, and when I went in, and I won't lie, I was kind of nervous, man, because I was like, the first brand new car you gave me is going to have all these issues. There's a good chance the second car you're going to give me might have the same issues. So they went ahead and I went ahead with the process of going ahead and getting a new car, but I decided rather than sticking with the TrailSport. And TrailSport is kind of a unproven model, if I could say that. It has a lot of bells and whistles that I think overall will feed into it being potentially defective. It's not a particular line of their cars that's been fully tested. I think it's in the second year, and it's supposed to be a kind of like a city SUV with the feel of an off-roader. There has to be something in that that's going to make it not act right, you know. So I opted out of that one, and I said, listen, I don't want TrailSport anymore. I'll just go for the fully loaded, fully whatever the most expensive Passport you have. So I went with the Passport Elite. There's a black version, which is the same thing as the Elite. The only difference with the black version, everything is blacked out, you know. And I'm like, okay, I'm not spending another $5,000 for a paint job. So I got this truck right here, and so far I've had no problems. I'm here because it's just for the oil change, I believe, and that's pretty much it. I mean, this car only has 5,800 miles on it. I put a lot of miles on it, a lot of driving with the kids and pickups and drop-offs at school. But right now, the car it's been pretty good to me, and but at the same time, I won't lie, part of me is still nervous about like what might be down the road. And I posted a few videos about my experience with this car. And I had promised to do another video on how the car was going, and I hadn't done that yet. And this might be that video where I talk about that. But what's interesting is this. Check this out. I've had a few people who've responded to those videos from over the summer saying, "Hey, my car just died on me," and and they're telling all these stories about the issues they're having with Honda right now. And I feel like, whoa, like, what's going on here? Because Honda's been known to be like super reliable. Like you can set your watch to Honda, and its efficiencies, reliability. And I just cross my fingers and pray that I don't find myself in a position where I'm a couple more miles from now, or whatever the case may be, all of a sudden I'm dealing with a car that is falling apart. I hope to have this car stay with me all the way through the 3-year lease. I've had Hondas now for the past 6 years. No, let me take that back. I've had a Honda since 2020. So it will be 4 years now I've had a Honda, and now this car's is leased for the next 3 years. So I'm gonna have this car till 27. So June of 27 will be the end of the lease for this car. And I'm probably going to, lean on my Nigerianness and go get a Mercedes or a BMW. Not a BMW, I'm definitely gonna get a Mercedes. I'll put it into universe. I really want a G-Wagon. Do I have G-Wagon money? I don't right now, but I don't know why. The ancestors are speaking to me, and I feel like the G-Wagon is down the road for me. All right, so that was about an hour and a half. Got through with the maintenance. So ended up getting oil change, and something. I think my differential oil had to be topped off or cleaned out, or whatever the case is. I am not a car technical person, which I can be, but I choose not to. I have enough things to deal with in my life, and then also start getting to like the intricacies of engines of my cars. But so yeah, so that was taken care of. I was told that that particular issue or service usually doesn't happen until a car hits and it's well into a year of driving. Um, and the car, as you know, only has at this point in time 5,808 miles. So so the technician Dijon, awesome dude, Honda New Rochelle, was he said he was kind of surprised about that, but it was taken care of. What's funny, I had explained to him about my anxiety about my car and what had happened with the previous car that I had initially leased. And he was like, "Oh, that was you." He's like, "I remember that car." So it's funny how that car became legendary because I think a lot of people are like, "How do you have a brand new car that needs new transmission?" Even Honda was surprised. The dealership was surprised, but that worked out. So at this point in time now, I am done with my mission this morning to have my car serviced, oil change, the differential oil has been topped off or replaced, whatever. I don't know what happens there. I'm assuming it just has to be filled back up. My tires are balanced, and I'm off to go pick up my kids for the weekend. And I think we might go see Lion King. I've been thinking about that. Not Lion King, but Mufasa. Get them out the house, go eat some popcorn, watch a movie, and do something fun. The last weekend before we get back to school, and my days become completely consumed with work. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you again for joining me on this podcast. This episode was nonsensical. It was just about me getting oil change in my car. And till next time, all right, y'all. Be well.